You can make these bloomers in half an hour or less, and I'm gonna show you how. To draft the bloomers pattern for your baby, you will need pattern paper, a ruler, a tape measure, and something to draw with. I'm going to be using a marker because this is going to be bold enough for you guys to see it, but I recommend that you use a pencil to be able to erase your line if necessary. First, you're going to draw a vertical line. And this line is going to represent the center front and center back of the bloomers. Then you're going to draw a horizontal line coming from this vertical line. And that's going to represent the waistline of your baby's bloomers. I'm going to use this dress form to demonstrate this measurement that you need to take on your baby. You want to go ahead and find where you want the bloomers to sit on your baby. And you're going to put the tape measure there and measure around to the back and put the tape measure where you want the bloomers to sit on your baby around at the back. Let's say that you get a measurement of 14. You'd measure from this line, add an inch to make it 15, and then you would make a mark here. Now from this mark, you're going to draw a right angle line coming out like this. So this is the length of your baby's bloomers. Now you want to go ahead and find the hip circumference of your baby. Let's say that it is 20 inches, right? You're going to divide that by 4 and put that measurement on this line. You're going to add a half of an inch. That's going to be for allowance right here. And put the same thing down here. So that's the hip circumference divided by 4 plus a half of an inch. So on your baby's side, you want to measure how you want the bloomers to be, right? So let's say you want the bloomers to go from here to here. You're going to take that measurement and you're going to put that measurement here. So let's say you get a measurement of 4 inches. Based on how these bloomers are going to be made, you want to add a quarter of an inch to that measurement and make a mark here and then do the same thing over here. You're going to make a mark and then you're going to draw from here down to that mark. And this is where you're going to freestyle a curve. So you would just go like this and draw a curved line that would create this shape. Another thing that you want to do on your pattern is to bring this part in on the front so that you can have the back being bigger than the front. It's really simple. You just draw a line and cut along here. You want to make sure that this part will cover your baby's crotch area. So these are some bloomers that I made for my daughter. From here to here is 4.5 inches, but I put 1/4 inch elastic into the legs, so 1/4 of an inch on both sides would add up to half. So in total this would be about 5 inches. So 5 divided by 2 would be 2.5. I did draft this bloomers though to be a lot smaller than this one that I made for my baby because I actually made this pattern already. This is a much smaller size, but you just want to go ahead and make sure that the length that you want at the side here is represented by this line. This is a total of the baby's hip circumference. So you divide this by 4 and it goes on this line. And then you want to make sure that you have the right length for your baby, like I demonstrated earlier. When you create this pattern, you want to go ahead and test it out to see how the bloomers turn out. And if you want it to be smaller, you could bring this part in, you could bring this part down, you could make it longer if you need to, you could bring this part out if you want to. That's the beauty of pattern drafting. You actually have so much creative freedom and you're able to create something that will fit your baby exactly how you want it to fit them. So if you want to make this even nicer and add some shape to the bloomers, you could come in by a 1/2 inch, but you want to make sure that this will still be able to pass your baby's hip. And then you would just slant this line right here and do the same thing on this side. Slant this line, and then you would give this a label and write bloomers on it. Then you want to write the dates that you draft this pattern as well as the age of your baby, so that you'll be able to know exactly what size this is and what age your baby was. Next, you want to cut the bloomers pattern out, and you'll be able to use this to create bloomers for your baby at any point in time. It's really important that you put a fold symbol here. This is going to make it so that you can know that this part of the pattern should be placed on the fold. So when you are done cutting and you open your fabric out, you're going to have this and this on your fabric. First, you want to serge the raw edges of the legs of your bloomers. Add 1/4 inch elastic to the legs using a zigzag stitch. Put the sides together and stitch them. Finish here with a serger if you have one, then fold the elastic over and stitch it down. Do the same thing to the next leg. Take a piece of 1/2 inch elastic that is 2 inches shorter than your baby's waist and overlap the ends. Use a zigzag stitch to keep it all together. Sew the elastic to the waistline, again using a zigzag stitch, and then fold it over. Stitch it again, and now you have the perfect bloomers and you never even had to leave home.